Welcome. We gather here together to train our hearts and minds on a place and a time kin to our own. Cursed, it seems, to succumb to their own desperate and tragic end. They call, and we hear them. They are hurt, and we accept their pain. They are at their end, and we will carry them on in our memory. Bear witness to the voices from the Umbra. Introducing the Green Thumb.
This message is intended for the eyes around every corner. I can see you. I can always see you. Carol Ann points and laughs at you. You hide from no one. I see them staring at my fences. I see them staring at the knife I've been carrying for safety. I can tell they like to take it. Take it and use it on me and be done with their troubles. The garden is surviving, much like I am. Wilted around the edges, but the greenery in the center. As long as the fires keep burning, the garden keeps growing, and it repays my labor with food that doesn't come out of a can. Some things are outside, in the ground and waiting for spring. They can handle it. Some things need a little help with the cold and the long nights. That's where I come in. That's where Carol Ann comes in.
For me.
I'll just bet that's where the doctor comes in for the others. He certainly doesn't do much around here for us, does he?
No, he doesn't.
If we just came together, we could keep this garden going and sleep and eat and love and be happy. But everybody looks at Carol Ann the way I look at the remains of the doctor's friend. Confused and disgusted. As if they have any right to their feelings. As near as I can tell, they're barely even people anymore, not like the blobs and the drifters, something different.
Their noses push out and their eyes are getting smaller.
I think there's a film over them too, but I haven't been able to get close enough to see. This message is intended for whoever the fuck keeps knocking down my fences. When I find you, oh you dumb little, when I find you, I'm not gonna hurt you much. But I am going to grab you by your little arm and drag you into the school and throw you down in front of the doctor and demand that something be done before I have to do something. Demand an example be made. That is, of course, assuming there is any justice left in this world. You thought bringing people back to us would bring back society. But just look at what happens.
Just look at this mess.
My beautiful fence. And when I have an infant to take care of.
I've never taken care of a baby before.
I don't even know when people start walking.
She's very good.
Hasn't fallen once. I'm very proud. I almost prefer when I had to carry her. She didn't weigh much. She was comforting. Always so warm. I almost made her hold my hand crossing the street. Little bits like that still hang on sometimes. I had to urge to take a pill this morning. Life is very strange. Life is very aggressive. That's all. This message is intended for the doctor. If the only time you come around is when you need to complain, maybe don't come around at all. Apparently, I make people nervous. Apparently, I'm reclusive. Apparently, I don't want to engage with the group. Apparently, I give off a hostile energy. Well, it probably shouldn't matter what sort of energy I give off. I was here first. This was my home before I was sent away. Then the world ended and I came back and made it grow. And now everybody wants to be here. You know, funny how that works. Funny how that always means I have to leave. Even if they haven't said it. They will. For the good of the group. For public safety. Nobody even looks at me like a parent. No offers of playtime. No sharing of child-raising advice. Just avoidance.
And whispered discomfort.
The doctor has a plan. The doctor is going to get me back on track. The doctor is going to start a regiment. Carol Ann doesn't trust the doctor. She whispers in my ear as I fall asleep.
Her lips didn't move, but I heard her just the same.
This message is intended for the doctor. I'm not broken if I still work. One whole room. This is a message of
Loathing and great, deep sadness.
they burned them. They were sneaky. No cut fences. Didn't hear a window break. Didn't know anything was wrong. Until Carol Ann is almost inconsolable. I'm sure you can hear her. I've tried to explain to her, tell her that some people are just bad, that's just the way it goes. Some people always burn plants. She didn't want to hear any of it. The doctor.
The traitor.
I bring him here. I bring that man here, almost dragging him by the stupid little sage beard, and I show him.
Could have been an incident. These things happen. You have so many plants. Could have been children. Are you sure you didn't do this yourself? You have been strange lately. These people are talking about you. Why did you give that speech from the overpass?
All I get are excuses and blame when all I need, all I really want is justice. They don't know what sort of hell they've unleashed. They don't know that Carol Ann still whispers through the tears.
She watches them.
Since they don't pay her any mind.
She sees where they're weak. She notices the pressure points. She sees the children sneaking out at night.
Some gardens have straw men to keep away the crows. What keeps people out?
Introducing the Animalist.
Even the puppy is gone now. First the strangers, then the friends, then the family, then the memories and the mind, now the puppy, too. I don't even know where the puppy is. I don't know where the man is. I don't know where I am anymore. Everything is fields and weeds, and I am alone.
I am very, very alone.
Things are not great. Why would he just take off like that? After all this time, he didn't get spooked or anything. He just
Left.
If I wasn't so goddamn lonely, I'd say that someone took him, but that's stupid on the face of it. Or is it? I've been following that guy for a long time at this point, and he still doesn't know a thing about me. I suppose somebody could have... Come on, what are the odds of there being two maniacs like me out there? And a special kind of maniac that the pup wouldn't even bark at? Come on. Unless special maniacs are the only people who survived this long, which would make a lot of sense. Okay. Enough of this. Rest break over. I'm tired of this bullshit. 3 easy steps.
1,
Find the puppy.
2,
Find the man.
3.
Introduce myself. It seems like the only polite thing to do at this point. Goddamn puppy. Picked a great time to do this, too. You make things complicated, you know that? I don't know if you can even hear me right now with everything you've got going on. You're lucky I love you, you dumb pup. I suppose pup is the wrong word anymore, huh? Puppies don't make these shells. These... God, what the hell are they called? The butterfly things. Chrysalis.
You look like one of those big, gray wasp nests up there, you know that, right?
Speaking of which, how did you manage to stick yourself up there? That's gotta be 8 feet off the ground at least, and you were never much of a jumper. I am nearly impressed. I'm also a little upset with the shelter in Boulder. They didn't tell me anything like this would happen. Didn't even mention it. Not even in the small print of one of those brochures.
Assholes.
You're leaking, Bug Pup. Did you know that? From those scratches. Did you get in a fight? You picking fights on the way here? That's not like you. Alright, fair. Neither is most of this, but fighting's a choice, and I didn't raise you to be like that. You little sticky, leaky thing. I guess I'm here for a while. Could have picked somewhere a little warmer instead of the old barn. Or at least a barn with less holes.
Silly bug puppy.
I think whatever the Bug Pup got into it with may have messed him up a little bit more than I thought at first. It's been a couple of days, and those scratches aren't getting better. And a couple just keep weeping out this slime. I don't like it. I also don't like this place. With all the horror of the world, you'd think I'd be past any silly childhood fears, but the rotting barn at night seems to bring out the boogeyman. I get these waves that crash over my brain, telling me that something is wrong. Something is very wrong, and there's something I should be doing, but I'm not. Some task that I am failing. It's a wonderful feeling. I highly recommend it. Leads to excellent dreams. Every dream has drifters in it. Every single one, in close-up and graphic detail. They are ugly little things, too. And every time my face just gets closer and closer to this once human thing, this thing that's got a deflated gas bag sputtering nasty air out of the hole in it, and it's twitching and writhing, and I'm getting closer and closer, and it moves like a piece of fresh meat when it's salted, the muscles contracting and relaxing chaotically and horribly, and then I wake up.
I wake up and I am very, very hungry.
They're not nightmares, exactly. They're hard to describe. It's probably just another facet of the worry. Another expression of the brain. You see what you do to me, Bug Pup? You're messing with my mind. You're even in my dreams now. You gotta get better, okay? You gotta get better and do whatever it is that you need to do.
Gotta do something. Can't just sit here doing nothing. Gotta do something. Gotta keep moving somehow.
The dreams keep getting deeper, right along with the scratches, and neither of us are going to get better until the other one does, and I'm the only one that can fucking move right now.
I don't know what I'm doing anymore.
No clue of the months. Can barely tell the days apart. Can't stand sitting next to the puppy cocoon because I'm terribly, terribly anxious to get back to my spectacular life. Doing what? Stalking the last man on Earth. Not literally. Obviously. There's no way there's just two of us and we happened to find each other. And don't give me that bullshit about a million things happen every day with 1,000,000 to 1 odds against them, because that was the old world. This is a different world now. This is a mean world now. My next therapy session isn't scheduled for another week or so, but I swear to whatever god abandoned this world that if another drifter flies over, I'm gonna shoot the fucking thing just as punishment for all the dreams lately. Won't be as satisfying as a blob. Drifters are much too fragile, but shit. Out here on the plains, we work with what we've got. Sweat and grit and dirt and all that bullshit. We'll make do. We'll have a nice little session out here in the middle of all the nothing, and we'll make do.
We'll be just fine.
So, here's the thing. Little flash of inspiration came to me because, wouldn't you know it, another drifter did fly overhead not half an hour after I finished that other recording. So, woman of my word, I took it down. Side note here, I couldn't tell whether it was the gas escaping from the bag or the person thing attached to it that was making that screaming sound as it fell. It wasn't long enough to tell. You kind of forget after a while that if their bag rips enough, they're basically just a person hanging out 50 or 100 or however many feet above the ground. And people don't stay above the ground for very long without some help. Needless to say, it was a bit
Smashed?
by the time I got to it. Not the point exactly, just painting a picture. I am an artist, after all, even if no one will ever see the things I leave. Inspiration. I was inspired. I didn't even have my usual session, and I was really planning on it too. No, inspiration hit. Inspiration hit, and I reached inside the bag I had torn open, still pulsing faintly, and stinking as bad as you'd expect.
I reached in and I grabbed that little pit.
It was attached on the inside by a membrane, but came away, ripped away really, without too much trouble. Then I just marched my way back here. Hand dripping with that, not blood, exactly, it's stickier, like blood and snot together. Some of it's still under my nails, which is a little gross, but so is everything here. The bug pup must have smelled it or something. Even in his little casing. This little tuber, tentacled proboscis kind of thing. It dropped out of a crack in the bottom and began moving around, obviously looking for something. Kinda reminded me of a worm on the pavement after rain, searching for the dirt again. I held out the pit, and the proboscis took it and began to force it up the tube, which split a few different times from the effort of ingesting the entire thing at once. Greedy little thing.
As it was digested, a liquid seemed to bubble up from inside the cocoon, spilling onto the outside, running through the scratches like a flood through desert ravines.
Coating the injuries in the casing before drying into these thin little stalactites that hang off the bottom and catch the breeze like a wind chime. And now I guess we just sit and wait and see what happens. See what the dreams say tonight. Just see, I guess.
Introducing the homebody.
It's strange to be the only person in the world that knows something, especially something big. And secrets don't count. It has to be something you'd want to tell somebody else. I wonder if that's why scientists like what they did. Because for just a little bit of time, they knew something that nobody else on Earth knew. They were special. Hell, I'll say it. I feel special. I've got some big news. Some happy news for once. When God makes it rain, he sure makes it pour. But damn if he doesn't put a big old rainbow in the sky afterwards and make it all beautiful again. First, the rain, I guess. I wrecked my truck. Hit something in the road, popped a tire, the damn thing flipped. I conked my noggin on something and I was out
Like a light.
And believe me, as much noise as that must have caused, there had to be blobs on the way. The town wasn't tremendously full of them, but there were enough. Little side note here. Isn't it funny how things like the blobs and the drifters become so commonplace? You'd think they'd be the scariest thing about being, well, now, but they're not. They're just, I don't know, they're like ice when you're driving on the highway. You know it'll be there. You know it can kill you or really mess you up, but you still drive.
Weird.
Anyways, so there I am, knocked silly, presumably blobs all around, and something gets me out of the wreck. Takes my little backpack full of stuff and puts me behind the counter of a bank so I'll be safe. So, damn, this is almost funny. I wish I had someone to actually tell this to. Anyways, so I wake up, groggy as hell, and what do I see? I'm in this dingy little bank, my backpack is up on the counter, and waiting politely on the other side is a blob. Could have been waiting in line, wasn't trying to get me, wasn't really doing anything, was just there, watching, I think. There's no other explanation, is there? This just adds a whole lot more to think about. And I've been doing just fine in that department as it is. It's been a long time, a very long time since I've had any sort of companionship. Not that this is exactly what all the posters and everything was for, but it's nice. Not much talk, but as I do my other work around the town, mostly looking for a new vehicle, really, I've got a little shadow. Well, not exactly little, but You understand, I hope. And as a bonus, the other blobs don't seem to care about me as much when it's near. Maybe they think I'm claimed territory. I guess I can't prove that they leave me alone, but it seems that way. From what I can tell, this one is at least 4 people altogether. An older man, a lady, and 2 younger. It can be hard to tell as they all kind of melt into each other. It's kind of interesting, actually, to see one up close. I still don't get, right up on it or anything. That wouldn't be polite, since we've only just met, but this is closer than most people could get, I'd imagine. Actually,
I suppose most people are a heck of a lot closer.
Maybe that's not such a bad thing. And that... and that means that a certain thing that was done might not have needed to be done exactly. Ooh, if you had them side by side, I wonder who feels worse. A guilty man without a conscience that's been caught and caged? Or a guilty man that's got a conscience,
but will never be punished for what he's done?
Makes you wonder why somebody, or something, or somebodies, I suppose, chose you to hang around with. They didn't have to. Makes you wonder why somebodies won't take you in. Won't let you be a part of them. Out of everybody in the world, maybe they don't want to be close to you. Maybe they can sense what you've done. I suppose if it's a world of them and one of me, I'm the monster here, aren't I? That's what do you call it? A cliche, right? Giveth and taketh, and giveth and taketh, and giveth and taketh. Mysterious ways and all that. I've got a vehicle, a working one, after a little bit of tinkering. It's crazy. How many things just stop working after a few months or a couple winters of just sitting? Everything we made is just so fragile. But that's not what I was talking about. I've got a vehicle, but I can't go anywhere right now.
Because of Janice.
That's what I've been calling them. It seems fitting. A neighbor of mine a long time ago had an uncle that knew a guy that had a farm, and a piglet was born with 2 heads one spring, and that's what they named it. It had the same sort of expression as this Janice here, very kind, kinda studious, behind the eyes. So I think the name works.
Janice.
Janice is a mystery. I'm not a scientist, and nobody would mistake me for one, but Janice is different than most blobs, even if I don't know exactly how to prove it. It's not just the fact that they don't attack me or anything either. It's something more. Again, around the eyes, they all have very dark eyes, very brown eyes. From what I can tell, they're beautiful, like a forest. Maybe that's why they don't want me. I've got blue eyes. I'd spoil them.
Just like I spoiled a lot of other things. Just like I spoiled the truck. Just like I spoiled Mrs. Devons.
Just like I spoiled
everything.
There's secrets in this world. Things that have been spoiled in secret.
I'm the spoiler.
Whole world has gone to shit, and I'm the worst piece of it. Maybe that's why they don't want me. I really wish you could talk. I really, really wish you could talk. Don't think I'm being mean or anything. I'm really not trying to. Heck, the fact that anything wants to be around me for more than a short bit of time, it's really nice. I just wish you could talk. If you could talk, then maybe we could talk things out. People always seem to say that was the thing to do back when there were people. Got a problem? Talk it out. I've got problems. I've got a ton of problems. One of the problems is that I can only talk to myself, and so I never get any good answers to all this crap. Another problem is the fucking headaches after that wreck. I don't know what a doctor would even be able to do for me at this point, but I guess she could tell me just how screwed I am. Probably in very professional terms, too. I'm sorry, I'm rambling, I know. It's kind of what I do with this thing, just turn it on and ramble for a while and shut it off again. I don't really think anyone will hear it. It's kind of like a diary or a journal, I guess. Just something to do every day. Something to remind me I'm still here. A little check mark.
Or a line drawn on the wall of a jail cell.
This day, at one point, existed. Even if nothing else cares, it existed, and I noticed that. Something noticed that. Do you keep track of things like that? Are you still 4 separate people in there? Or does it all add up to something more? See, this is what happens when you talk it out. You just get more questions on top of questions, next to even more questions. Do you think we could hold hands? But that's probably a bad idea, huh? Yeah, sorry, that's dumb. I'm dumb. It sure is nice to sit here with you, though.
Introducing G.I. Jane.
Do animals realize that they dream? Does a dog know that the rabbit he's chasing in a dream is just a piece of his mind, or is every night a real adventure? And if animals think their dreams are real, does that mean their nightmares are real to them too?
I'm an animal, and it seems as though all my nightmares are real.
Any more talking just seems like a way to cling to sanity. The reports are meaningless, I can see that now. If the new people found their way onto the island, it means they had to work at it. Hard. That means that there's something on the mainland worth getting away from, which means that this might be the safest place to be right now. Hooray. This morning I could just barely see my breath for the first time and my muscles hurt from the chill in the air. Better scrounge another jacket. Plenty to go around. Plenty to go around. So why the hell did they have to kick me out? That's what I keep coming back to. Why? Say they've got 100 people, 1,000 even. The city used to hold millions. Why didn't they just ask me to join them? What's wrong with me? God damn it. Talking like this is supposed to make me feel better, not worse.
Fuck talking.
I made it to the north edge of the park today. Just now, actually, a few minutes ago. Granted, it was probably the most wild place in the whole city before this, but damn, needs a haircut. Nature really seems to detest us sometimes. Humanity, that is. Just look at how quickly it gets rid of all of our crap. Quickly is relative, I suppose. It feels like a long time to me, but what the hell do I know? No Peytons in the park either, which is a damn good reason to be here as far as I'm concerned. It's a little unnerving to look back into the city, though.
I see his face.
Or most of his face, more often than not. It's just poking out from the corner of a window, or from behind a car, or out of a storm drain, or pressed against a glass door you happen to be passing.
Or grinning from inside your own shadow on the pavement.
Or all of them at once. But not in the park. I don't know why. It sure makes me like the park, though. Gives me a chance to think. A chance to be. What the fuck was that? That was real, right? Huh. All the Peytons went away. Oh fuck! That's a gun! Combat update number... Oh shit. It's been so long I've forgotten what number we're on. Guess that means I start over. Combat update number 1. I have met the enemy and they have taken this day. Not the war, but certainly this battle. Caught me napping. Asleep, on my feet. Figured for some reason that the park was safe. Wrong. Stupid. Stupid and wrong. Never safe. Nothing is ever safe here, and now you're paying the price for it, aren't you? While I found myself sitting and resting after making it to the top of the park here, the new people, pursuing much closer and quicker than I expected, took the opportunity to fire on me from several different positions. Fortunately, it seems most of them are terrible shots. Unfortunately, somebody got lucky. Not as lucky as they wanted to get, but close. Very close.
Too goddamn close.
They caught the back of my ear as I was hustling my ass out of there. The left one. If it had been just an inch or two over, or if I had been... it would have blown my damn head off. I guess I'm lucky. That's what I keep telling myself as the whole side of my head throbs like someone keeps hitting it with a nail board or something. Could have died. Could be dead right now. You know, I suppose I'm happy I'm not. I suppose. For the most part. I don't even think it was a real attack. They could have gotten much closer. They didn't chase me for long. They gave up far too easy. I think they're toying with me. I think they want me scared because of what I did to their people. I fucked with the beast, and now I must suffer. Well, guess what, motherfuckers? That's not how it's gonna go down. When you took my ear, you also cleared my head. I'd been running on fumes getting this kid south through the city safely, but I'm back now. I ought to be thanking you. We both should be. It's all so clear. I really should thank you. It's only polite. But we'll save that for when we're face to face. So here I sit in the little hidey hole I found, and I'm sharpening a stick, partly to have a sharp stick in case I need it, and partially to dull down my knife a bit because I'm gonna take an ear too, but slower. Much slower. And I just can't get over it. It's one thing to shoot at me. I've done some bad things, granted, but with a little kid right next to me? I did some bad things, but I didn't fuck with their kids. Just a couple of young people trying to make some kids. God, we were lucky, that's what I keep telling myself. We were lucky that they caught me instead of him. He's always had such a weak immune system, it'd already be infected. I can shrug it off. God damn, I don't understand how he can fall asleep so quickly. No matter what, no matter where, the kid can sleep. Well, good for him. One of us had better be able to. It's very strange. I can see him right there in the moonlight coming in that crack. He's 2 feet from me. And yet
I feel so lonely.
just a small person in a big, mean world. And I have to make it all okay. The anger gets replaced with sadness and exhaustion so often anymore. It's unfortunate. The anger is much more productive. Don't you worry, Peyton. We'll figure something out. We always do.
As long as we're together, everything is alright.
The stories remain. But for now, we rest, we reflect, and we take from this what we can. Take this with you as you journey through your own mind. No matter how dark it seems, there will always be voices from the Umbra.
Voices from the Umbra and the Think Tank High Council would like to thank the research team, who so bravely connected to the individual voices themselves at no small personal risk. When they leave us, may their memory be forever enshrined in the heart of the universe. They are James L. Booker III, Betsy Eliza, Joe Hansen, and Liz Martelli. Voices from the Umbra and the Think Tank High Council would like to thank the archival team, who each gave a part of themselves to further the vision of the species they were born as. May the gifts they gave us be cherished always. They are Kelsey Potter, Chase Knieven, Alexander Wolf, and Edward Hoffman. If you feel the stirrings of curiosity within your soul, or simply wish to connect to the voices on a deeper level by seeing art and artifacts produced by those whom you've just heard, as well as a blog chronicling the history of our organization and writings from our leader, Grandfather Spalding, please join us online at voicesfromtheumbra.com. Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/voicesfromtheumbra, and our Twitter is Umbra Podcast. Our email is vftumbramail@yahoo.com. They call, and we hear them. They are hurt, and we accept their pain. They are at their end, and we will carry them in our memory. Bear witness to the voices from the Umbra.